That's a Geo Knows Award, baby. We haven't bragged enough about that. It comes with a free football. This is Electric Football, winner of the 2000 and something Best Duo Geo Knows Award.
Duo.
God bless you, Geo. Anyway, that's our bragging for that. Let's go, Stu.
Oh, God,
Games,
now it's
games,
just
games.
our ugly self. Well, I changed into the management of the team here. Steve is now an employee.
Leveraged buyout. Let's do this.
All right, Texans-Pats. Tonight's game, Thursday night. Go!
Okay, J.J. Watt eats some brisket. I know his name's not Brisket, but that's what it sounds like to me. I want to see that little Julian Edelman throw for 3 touchdowns and replace Tom Brady permanently. I am taking the Texans. I don't think the Patriots can do it with a third-string guy.
Yep, it's Brisket versus Rock Brotweiler, or whatever the hell his name is. Osweiler to Fuller has been a pleasant surprise so far this year. And the Patriots do keep finding ways to win, even when they're trotting out, Danny Amendola and Julian Edelman as their third-string quarterbacks. However, I think Texans have the better defense and the healthier offense. So I'm taking Houston. Cardinals-Bills.
Cards at Bills. And this is basically Rex and Rob Ryan playing for their, working for their jobs. I don't think they have it in them. I think for some reason the Bills have actually quit on the Ryan boys. I'm taking the Cardinals in a romp.
All right, yeah, I actually have this as a romp as well. They're in disarray, the Bills. Tyrod Taylor is not the answer here. While Arizona is trying to return to the playoffs, they're returning to form. They looked good last week. The Bills are just bleh, and the Cardinals are just a better team all around. So I am taking Arizona, even on the road, which I typically wouldn't do. Raiders-Titans.
All right, I'm riding the pirate ship. Arr, matey, ahoy! Get me a parrot for my shoulder. I am on the Raiders. I know they have some weaknesses, but I don't really see that the Titans have had strength since Frank Wycheck threw a back. That was a forward pass, by the way.
Against Buffalo.
But I don't see that. Marcus Mariota is making small steps. Okay, I'll give you that. But I don't see where the Titans have anything that can go up against a very explosive Raiders offense. The Raiders should win this one just simply by outscoring them.
All right. Well, the Raiders have the number 1 offense statistically right now, and they're going against the number 32 defense here. Bless you. Titans are somewhere in the middle on both sides of the ball here. I'm just going to take the home team here, and I would imagine the Raiders could win, but I'm going to take an upset possibly by the Titans.
All right, Skins at Giants, and we may have an intruder here in the Cosmo Club.
It's Tony Carrero. Hey, Tony.
I'm getting ready for self-defense.
Live audience, as usual, here at the Cosmos Club.
We got Skins at Giants. Big game around here. The rematch of Norman and Beckham, round 2, if you will. But I like what the Giants are doing. I think the Giants have an explosive offense. I think they have a surprisingly stout run defense. And I don't think the Redskins have a lot of belief in Kirk Cousins right now. Give me the Giants at home in a romp.
Yeah, the Skins defense is struggling. The Giants have the better offensive weapons by far. And I do expect them to win here. Not by a lot. They haven't been impressing me enough to pick them, by a touchdown. But certainly a 3 or 4 point game is in order for you.
They're getting it done.
All right, the Browns versus my lackluster Dolphins here. Well, if Miami doesn't win here, I would sit Tannehill and I would go with Matt Moore as your quarterback, because if you can't beat the Browns, look, he's 500 at best in his career thus far. If we don't romp the Browns, I would give up on Tannehill. I'd say, that's it. Thanks for coming here. Here's your beautiful wife, your beautiful kid, and take your money and run. Miami has to make a statement here. The Browns lost Corey Coleman to a broken hand in practice, and he was a big part of the offense thus far for an offense that sucks. So he's out 6 weeks. I'm taking Miami to make a statement here.
Did one of the Browns owners once go into a pyramid and desecrate the mummy in there or something? They're just cursed. No, I'm serious. I feel that way about the Vikings right now, but the Browns, my namesakes, if you will, are just
Steve Browns.
They're a nightmare. They have talented players. They're just not actually out on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, think of the receiving corps they could have if all of their guys were actually on the field. It's kind of scary, and they do have some explosive players. And Joe Thomas, we talked about a couple weeks ago, just completely underrated. Joe Hayden. Once again,
they have a good secondary.
Draft,
they do.
Draft guys named Joe. You're going to be fine. Joe Brown. That's who you need on the Browns.
Joe Browns.
I am amazed to hear you talk about Tannehill. You're already giving up on him. You're ready to. This is it. You're ready.
Giving up on him. But this is 4 seasons of mediocre play. Everyone's like, he had a great second half. Statistically, one of the best halves ever in the history of NFL. We were down 31 points. New England was sitting back and playing Jacoby Brisket, and we couldn't win.
But Moore's not your long-term answer.
No, but what's the point of playing this guy if he's 55?
Where are you, Johnny Football?
Oh, I'm
The
telling you.
Dolphins have an opening for you.
I've given up on this kid if we don't blow them out.
There you go. And he
All right.
looks very official. He looks like he could. It looks like he could be the GM.
I'm Steve Ross, and I'm building a big city in New York, but I'm not building a good franchise.
All right, I believe we're up to Ravens and Jags.
We
I'm gonna
are.
let Stu roll here.
All right, look, neither team has impressed thus far, but I like Jacksonville to steal one here. Baltimore has the number 2 defense, which surprised me. I haven't really watched a Baltimore game this year yet. But if Jacksonville can get creative, I think they have a slightly better offense. They're younger. I think they're more resilient, and I think they're hungrier. And I'm going to take Jacksonville here, taking the home team.
It's early on a Thursday, and I'm off the Bortles. I'm staying sober. I am going to actually disagree with you.
Bortles and James.
I was on the yeah, give me a wine spritzer. I was on the Blake Bortles bandwagon. I am now officially, just like you just fell off the. We're both falling off wagons.
Whoa.
He's off of Tannehill. I'm off of Bortles. I'm taking the Ravens to just ground and pound, control the both lines of scrimmage, and win a low-scoring game because I don't think Bortles can get it done anymore. I think he throws too many stupid, over-the-middle interceptions.
Okay. Lions, Packers.
All right, let me do this one.
Alrighty.
Everyone was like, the
It's your
problem with
division.
the Packers last year was Jordy Nelson was gone. The problem with the Packers was, their running back was fat. What are the problems with the Packers this year? Because they are slightly disappointing. Is this, should we fall off the Aaron Rodgers bandwagon?
It's 29th in the league.
I mean, not yet, but there is a significant problem here. But if you wanted to write it, you probably have a pretty good chance of doing that at home against the Lions. I'm taking the Packers. What's his name is going to come out and do. Aaron Rodgers is going to start spelling for us again. I don't know what word he's going to do this time, but I think they have a little run in them right here, and I think it starts this week.
Yeah, as much as I think the Lions right now on offense are playing better than the Packers, I don't think that is something that we can consistently expect. And I truly believe the Packers are going to right their ship here at home, get back on track. And what better team to do against than the Lions, who have just seemed to be their patsy forever,
They're, in other words, the Lions are the Packers' biatch.
Yeah, no kidding, exactly.
Broncos at Bengals. Go, Stewie.
All right, listen. While I think the relentless defense of Denver can win this game and they'll wreak havoc, I'm going to go with the bet that Cincinnati finds a way to win. Denver's offense hasn't done much of anything, and they haven't had to because the defense has just been ferocious. Denver cannot go into a shootout, and if Cincinnati gets any rhythm going with their offense and it becomes a higher scoring game, I don't think right now Denver can do it. Demaryius Thomas is limping, and I just don't believe that Trevor Simeon is the guy. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati at home here to squeak a win out.
I think Demaryius and Emmanuel Sanders are also starting to wonder because they're starting to yap a little bit. Like,
Oh, yeah?
I don't have a 100-yard game. I don't have 30 receptions already.
And I have Demaryius Thomas
But-
in my fantasy league.
But I'll tell you what. I watched the Colts have a chance to win that game. I watched Luck go back, and I watched Von Miller just go, out of the way, boom, there's the ball, thank you very much. Not only does he seem able to get a sack whenever they damn well need it, he seems to just go, give me that.
Yeah,
Thank
my ball.
you.
My ball.
I'm taking this thing to the club.
I autographed it. I'm keeping it.
No, it's ridiculous how good he is right now. And I'm taking that defense to rattle Dalton and win a game here.
No, I don't blame
you. Until proven otherwise, it's the best defense last year. It's the best defense this year, and I'm going with the D.
All right.
I'll roll with the next one,
I
too.
think you should.
Vikes at Panthers. And, man, we talk about cursed. We lose AP. Now, granted, he had something like 31 carries for 32 yards so far this year, but he is Adrian Peterson. We've lost Teddy Bridgewater. We're going against a very tough team. We're going into an emotionally a town in emotional turmoil. Excuse me.
Pardon me.
And, we're going up against a great quarterback. I don't see a way. Everyone said, like, oh, Bradford had a great game. He sure did. Now he's going up against a ferocious defense on the road against it. Well, he was going up against another great quarterback last week. But 2 weeks in a row, don't see us doing it. I'm going to keep picking against us as long as we keep winning. It's
All
part
right.
of my strategy. I'm going with the Panthers.
Well, last week I did take your Vikings and pleasantly surprised that they won. But this week I can. Cam Newton is already starting to score 4 touchdowns a game. One of them on his own typically. The Vikings and I feel bad. Vikings are one of the teams in history that I've always rooted for outside of the AFC. The Purple People Eaters and all those guys. I do like the Vikings.
It is weird how you have other teams that you just kind of like.
Yeah.
For no real reason.
But I think that Carolina got their mojo back, and they do boast the number 1 rushing attack to this point. I didn't even factor in what's going on in Carolina. I am taking the Panthers.
We got what? Rams at Bucks?
Lambs at Bucks.
Okay, so Winston went from MVP to, whoa, what is this? Whoa. Oh, you take it.
Oh, I can't. I'm a Buck.
So that happens. Rams went from comatose to awake and actually playing, which is a good step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm riding the pirate ship theme this year. I think that Captain Pegleg Jameis Winston.
And it was Talk Like a Pirate Week this week. So.
Oh, didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to misfire again. I think he's got a cannon of an arm. You get the little. And I think the Rams are sleeping in Davy Jones' lockers. I like the Bucks. I think they're a serious contender this year.
Yeah, I can't pick this game. The Rams can't get any offense going, and the Bucks they're a confusing lot. They looked pretty good in a game, but they still lost. I'm just taking the Bucks with the slightly better team on paper here and the better offense to shut down the Lambs.
All right, Niners at Seahawks. And boy, at the start of this year, I wouldn't have thought this was a tough game to call. But it's actually turned into a very difficult game to call. Seahawks have been probably the most disappointing team as far as the start of the season goes that I can think of right off the top of my head.
Struggled against Miami, lost to Los Angeles. Huh?
Yeah, unexpected struggles against Miami, and to lose to Los Angeles was amazing to me. Don't go back and check the tape because I got that one wrong.
A lot of suicide picks.
A lot of people went down in the elimination pool.
Yep.
But I do like the Seahawks at home. If I were Russell Wilson, I'd be texting beast mode like, "You coming back? Where you been? You coming back?" Defense hasn't been as impressive as it was in the past, but I think it'll be enough to shut down the Niners. I'm taking the Hawks at home.
Yes, the 49ers, I went back 3 games. They haven't beaten Seattle in at least 3 games, and I don't expect that to change now after a very embarrassing loss to the Rams. Granted, it was Los Angeles' opening day. The Rams are back. I'm still shocked beyond belief that game was a 9-3 game and that Seattle didn't win it. I can't take them to come up here and win this game. Wilson will find a way to scooch around and get the ball out. Doug Baldwin's been a disappointment for them. I think he's injured. Is he injured? Thought he was questionable. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This defense and the Hawks' nest is going to be rocking. It's going to be Seattle.
All right, Jets at Chiefs. And this is another tough game, actually, to pick. But in going back and thinking about the first 2 games that each team played, I think the Jets were a little more impressive in both.
Mm-hmm.
I think they played better competition with the Bengals, and they played them tough. I think they blew the Bills out of the building, and I think they're well rested. I know it's going to be tough for them to go on the road. I know it's tough to play in the Chiefs Stadium, but I really don't like what Andy Reid is doing, and I don't know how else to explain it. His offense, it just doesn't seem to work enough, if that makes sense. Like, he needs to get a little more old school and pound the ball occasionally. He doesn't quite have enough talent at the QB.
Right. And you don't get the sense that if they're down by 3 with a minute left or a minute and a half left, that they can get there, because I don't think they have enough guys. Dwayne Bowe, for everyone that loved Dwayne Bowe all those years, he wasn't clutch. And they haven't had a clutch guy that they can go to and go, we have a shot here. And neither does Miami. Miami hasn't had that since Marino. And it certainly feels like they haven't had that since Montana. And I think
they also seem like a team that just doesn't take advantage of, I don't know if I want to say the hot hand or the guy that's just got the better average rushing. It's hard to explain because he's a good coach. Andy Reid is a good coach,
and they seem to be in it often. But
right, but that's the level that he gets you to. There's something significantly wrong with their ability to win close games, close out close games. You don't feel like they could control a game at the end, like that they could just pound the rock and run out the clock.
Schottenheimer too, where you're always getting to the playoffs, but you don't get far.
So I like what the Jets are showing. I like their receiving. I think that they've got a potentially great defensive line going. So I'm taking the Jets.
I think they have a much better offense. This kid coming off the bench, Quincy Enunwa,
Yeah,
is
Nunwa.
catching everything, high, low, touchdown. The kid looks like might even be the stud receiver of the three and hasn't had the chance to start over Decker and over Marshall. But he's vastly becoming the guy that you want to have on your fantasy team, in my opinion, because he's getting the number of catches. Forte's been a beast right now, and I don't think Kansas City can stop him.
Yeah, name a better pickup than Forte right off the bat.
Bears are missing him, which probably leads to a couple more games.
Yeah, but and Enunwa, they're saying that he basically did it with hard work.
Yep.
Just he was a talented guy, but practice squad level guy when he started.
Yeah, he's not a rookie.
And just works the jugs guns and works works on the treadmill and just put in his work. So
here's one for Quincy Enunwa.
Yeah, electric football salutes to Quincy. Chargers, Colts.
Yep.
That's what we're up to.
That's where we are.
Roll.
Two similar teams here, I think, though the Chargers have found a way to run the ball more effectively this year, which is surprising to me because I've never considered them to be a real running team over time. I'm still not sold on Andrew Luck, and the Indianapolis defense just doesn't scare you. I would like to take Indy. They're home, and they should win this game based on almost being a mirror image of each other. Boy, we're not drinking. I think that's a problem.
Yeah, we need to start back up.
But I'm going to go with the San Diego Superchargers. And after Steve takes a sip, he'll give you his opinion.
All right. Well, the loss of that little Woodhead probably hurts him a touch, but I think the Chargers have more balance on both sides of the ball. I think that Andrew Luck is starting to look around and go like, how can you not build me something resembling a defense? How can I never have a running back like?
Sounds like Dan Marino.
No, it's who it sounds like. It sounds like John Elway. It sounds like a guy that can carry his team farther than they should be carried because he's a great quarterback. But now he's getting the snot pounded out of him. I mean, when internal organs are flying out of your mouth on tackles, that's a problem. And when
see my liver?
When Von Miller does surgery on you to remove remove your beating heart and holds it up at the end of the game and go, that's not the football. I mean, seriously.
It's Indy Jones, not Indy Colts.
Oh! If you took Luck and you put him on a talented team, I think the sky's the limit. I just think that he's carried them further than they should have gone with him, and they thought they had more than they do. And now you got to start worrying about where his career trajectory is going to go if he can remain upright and have most of his internal organs.
Yep.
So I also like the Chargers in this one.
All right. Steelers and Eagles.
Okay. Little battle of Philly, little battle of Pennsylvania. There's my geography screwing up again. How can you not like the Steelers in this game? I mean, Wentz takes a step up in competition, and this is a real test for him. He has, through 2 games, played remarkably well. The Eagles have some offensive weapons, but they are going up against a much better offense in the Steelers. The Steelers' offense is amazing right now, and that's lacking a major weapon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Antonio Brown hasn't done a lot, but they just seem to find other guys that'll step in and do it.
Once again, you have to look at Roethlisberger and go, how really good is he? Like, at what level should I put this guy in the pantheon? Because he's crawled into the pantheon, which is not a car, I might add. I may actually
The
start.
Chevy Panther.
I think we need to talk to Chevy for a sponsorship.
They just stole it.
I like the Steelers here. I'm very interested to see what Wentz can do against their defense and how mature he is when a really top line defense is coming at him. So it'll be an interesting game to watch, but I think the Steelers will squeak this one out.
Yeah, both are 2-0, but to me the Steelers look like a team that's headed to the Super Bowl. If nothing happens to them health-wise, I don't know that another team that can compare to them, at least in the AFC, to get to the Super Bowl, is going to challenge them. Yeah, Denver's got a great defense. But,
yeah, I was going to mention Denver.
But they don't have the offense to keep up. And
perennial, you have to mention New England and Tom Brady.
It takes more to take Roethlisberger down than it does, Tom Brady or anyone else. Because he'll stand there, tuck the hit. He'll throw the ball with a guy, gnawing on his thigh and still make the completion. I think that's when he's at his best. They are playing better than Philadelphia right now, and I'm taking Big Ben. I'm taking Antonio to get back on track this week, and the rest of the guys on the SS Minnow to smooth sail and miss Gilligan's Island.
Let's sit
I don't
right,
know what the hell
sit
is.
right
Pirates
back for a
week.
little tail of a fateful ship, whatever.
Anyway,
Bears, Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I like the Cowboys in this. I hate to say it. Jay Cutler did another one of those. Like, you know, maybe it's smart. Maybe it's, you know, the thing he should have done for his long-term health, career, or whatever. But this, you know, when everyone in the NFL is going, "You tough enough, Jay?
Mhm.
You tough enough? You a little doughy, Jay?"
Jay Cutler.
And it happens, you know, again and again. The leadership aspect is important, especially to a team that really has no identity at this point. The Bears, who are they? Like, what name a long term? Is Urlacher still there?
No,
There's Singletary still there?
no,
There's Richard Dent when you need him.
they're not there.
You know, even the Matt Forte thing we talked about, that's symptomatic of it. If you're going to blow it up in Chicago, blow it up. Get rid of Jay. Blow it the hell up and try and come back.
Right.
Cowboys have enough punch on the offensive line to control this game. Bears will get frustrated. Cowboys are at home. Cowboys win.
Yeah, I just think Dak Prescott does enough to win the game here. He's not going to own the game like a Cam Newton, but he's going to scooch out onto the side here and there and complete passes that even I don't think Romo can complete. But I do believe they're just healthier on paper. I think they have the identity that you think the Bears lack. You can name 10 Cowboys. I can't name 3 Bears. So yeah, I'm Brian Hoyer. No, I'm taking the Cowboys.
All right, I'm going to do this one quick because I got to get going.
Okay.
Saints at Falcons. I like the Saints in this one. I like a high-scoring game. I think that the Saints offense has proven that the young wide receivers are capable. And I just see I don't see the Saints losing this one.
All right, I'm going to take the Falcons just because I wrote absolutely nothing in my rush to get here. It was a miserable week for us to get together, but I don't think the Saints are all that. Their defense doesn't do anything for me, and I just think it's the Falcons' turn. To me, it's one of those, you win one this month and we'll win one the next month. I'm just taking the Falcons based on, I think it's their turn to win one.
Okay, that's
Couple
electric
things,
football.
though.
Couple things.
Happy birthday to Luke Brown.
Oh, well, thank you, my son.
And
12.
to my niece, who just had the first child in our family in 24 years. Welcome to the world, Aria Rose Brabson this morning.
Mazel
This is
tov.
Electric Football. We'll see you next
We
week.
need more
If I can
paces in this
find
world.
a mouse.
Yeah,
Bye.